today we're gonna mix it up a little bit. We don't have gi footage from the past week, so instead we are going to go back and look at some of our old competition matches. So I know I've got my matches up there. We got a few of Mike's, and then I think you threw in like a couple from Cole as well, right?
I did, yeah. I found a couple in my phone.
Cool.
From Cole.
Cool. I didn't tell him we're gonna be looking at any of his old stuff, so hopefully he's really nervous.
He'll be happy with these matches.
Yeah, for sure. I watched them. I mean, they're pretty quick, so.
They're quick.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get the footage going. All right, so this looks like one of Cole's matches. This is Good Fight, the submission only tournament. The same one that's going to be coming up April 2nd. Cole staying nice and tied up on this guy, going for an inside trip. I'd like to see some. So, you know, again, these are old matches, so a lot of the things we're gonna point out have since been fixed. But one thing that just jumps out at me right away is Cole's head position here. You know, he's on the outside of the shoulder. He's looking to the ground.
Right.
You know, his back's rounded. It's a prime spot for him to get, you know, snapped down really hard if this guy was playing a collar tie or something like that. Now I don't think I see Cole standing like this at all, but something to keep in mind. Like, you know, I always tell people look through your opponent's chest, not to the ground. Keep a nice neutral spine, you know, and then start to use your forehead as a limb. You know, like use it to push to get
Direct.
the guy. Yeah, exactly. Just like you can really increase your effectiveness. This 2-on-1 grip that he's got on the wrist, I haven't done this in a while, but I was playing around with that just in a standing position, and like it doesn't shut down a lot, but like you can really use that effectively to get to like singles or to like weigh up someone's leg and then pick it or trip it. Like it's a fun grip to like play around with.
Yep.
It's pretty high up on the front headlock here, but good job keeping the knee in. He gets that guillotine.
Yep.
Real quick.
I remember the lead up to this. I think between you and I, we were training out at Gold's Gym. Remember?
Yeah.
And we had to have worked guillotines for weeks straight because he was so heavy on the head.
Yeah.
And you just see how he does that side crunch, right? That we always talk about for the finish. So he brings his elbow to his left elbow goes to his left knee, or to his left hip in order to get to this finish. Like watch immediately he's crunching down in that position, how he's getting up. And then
like he's like falling to his right, but you could tell he's really trying to crunch to the left.
His left. And you could really tell the difference between, I think, the way that some people teach the guillotine and the way that we teach the guillotine is it's not like elongating, you know, like what you see in a lot of the MMA, earlier MMA. I don't know that you see it as often now, but you know, the stretch guillotine, as much as this one is really a strangulation on, you know, by doing it that way.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to. I think it may have been Jason this past week. Oh, we were going over like a kagatame arm triangle, and like getting like when you realize in a rear naked strangle and a guillotine like we just saw, that getting the torsional component, that like side crunch, you know, for the guillotine, the rear naked strangle, pulling that elbow back over as you're cranking, like you can add a torsional component to every single strangle, and it makes it that much worse. and like
Right.
we were going over that with the arm triangle, just how to tighten that up. But yeah, it's just funny seeing that how it's like automatic now for a lot of guys, and then in that old footage, you know, old fighters, the best in the world at the time, that wasn't necessarily a technique they were employing.
Mm-hmm.
That was that was really wild. He gets in on this leg, and like he was trying his damnedest to get you off balance. He
Yeah.
you stayed really well balanced there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't remember this match at all. Really, like it's been so long ago. I just remembered being, I was pissed because I lost 2 matches before this, and then
Yep, that looked like a pissed off straight ankle.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that one set on quick. He was just like not immediately trying to be your friend after that, but definitely.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened.
yeah. He lit like yeah. It was. I went for it. Yeah,
They signed the waiver.
they did.
So let's
Yeah,
see
so I'm in half guard, right? Like this is standard. Like Luke taught us this a long time ago. I know that that Tom teaches this one as well, right? But I guide. I'm digging in with the underhook on that leg. I guide over with a cross like armpit post, basically.
Sorry. Trying to find the right spot. Here we go.
Yep. So we're here. He has his hand on my knee, okay, and so like this sets up really well for me for that Kimura. So I'm thinking at this time probably I'm gonna trap the hand and shoot over for a Kimura, and depending on what he does with his arm, I think he goes over top maybe, yeah. And I lose the Kimura, but now I can scoot underneath for the. So I actually didn't get the underhook on the leg. I used my knee shield as a high knee shield.
Yeah, and
across his chest,
and the cross shoulder post here, right? Like
yep.
you're getting him off balance, and then I think that's when you eventually take your scoop on the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, yeah, you don't even really scoop it. You just kind of set up straight to the straight ankle grip with an outside crossed leg position. Yep. Yeah, that's just. I know that feeling. I know that pressure.
Yeah.
Angry Mike getting the job done for sure. It's funny too, man, because I know like post matches, we've talked about like our aggression levels and like how like sometimes you're not bloodthirsty,
Mm-hmm.
And like same with me. Like we'll show the footage one day of my when I lost my first match and then went out and just like against bigger guys was just like, all right. I'm killing everybody now. And like you just if you could like flip that switch, it's I mean you get the kind of performance you get that you did here. That was really good. Yeah,
and this was actually that was my last match. I think I took whatever I came in on this one, whether it be silver or bronze. This was actually my second match. I'd lost the match before this one, and that's when I was kind of angry that because I felt I lost the match. I didn't feel like I should have.
Okay.
And then we got to this guy. This one I think was really quick.
It is, and it was I don't know, filmed on a potato.
Footage. Yeah.
Definitely wasn't my phone. And again, just like grip it and rip it. But he seemed to be okay afterwards. It's weird because it's quality of the footage is one thing, but like I don't know. Let's see the setup because there wasn't much to look at. Mm-mm. Right? Like there it is. So you just got. How did he just like? Did he slip or did he try to pull guard? Yeah, he tried to.
So I was getting. Yeah, I was trying to pull him down to try and get to a snap down position. I was actually really actively working those in training at the time, and like nobody was like doing what I wanted him to do, but he wound up just like going down and pulling guard,
Yeah,
and then
and
I
leaving his,
just snatched the leg.
yeah, he left his leg in a super vulnerable position, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
let's see. I mean, so his legs are wide here, and you just scooped
Hmm.
it right up, right at the ankle,
Yep.
set in your grip. And like the good thing about this one and the last one, you can really see like the full extension of your body. Like you're
Yeah.
really throwing like your entire posterior chain into it. Like
Yeah.
you're not just squeezing and like, you know, pushing on it. Like you're trying to take his foot off. These matches were so quick.
Yeah. I think same comment. Ronnie, this was the good fight where I busted my eye up and you were taking pictures right after we were training at Gold's. And when I was in gi, my eye got split open. I don't know if you remember that one. Yeah. So hang on, how did Cole do that?
Nobody knows. So
Oh,
yeah, homeboy went in on a single leg with his head on the outside. So Cole was in this like, I don't know, not a good or not an effective grip there, but the guy left his head on the outside on a single, right? This is what we always caution white belts against, and why we tell you to keep your head on the inside at least until you feel confident enough in your guillotine escapes. So I mean Cole's got he's got the chin strap, right? He's got like a really solid position on the head here. So he's like, yeah, go ahead, get your takedown. He locks up his legs, and then this was what was kind of weird to me. Like I don't know, because Cole's arms and legs are occupied, so I feel like this guy basically flopped over, right?
yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's like he opted to go into a mounted guillotine.
It's almost like he was trying to go away from the choke or something and thought that that was a good idea. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but it's
Yeah.
like that was not the right way to go.
Yeah, and by the time he actually like got on his back, he was ready to tap. I mean, it was that quick. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. Again, I mean, I guess like you're right. Cole must have been like really focusing on guillotines in the lead up to this match. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly like that grip is exactly how I like to have it. I always go right to that chin strap grip, and then try to like what do you call it? Gooseneck, right? Gooseneck your wrist in past and like dig your arm in further that way to get in.
As high risk as possible, right?
Yeah. The higher, the higher the better. But really, like, if I can just get to my blade grip, then I'm normally pretty good to go at that point. Yeah, that's nothing better than a quick match. You don't break a sweat.
Gives you rest before the next one for sure.
Yeah. So I think that might be it for. Yeah, so these are. This is going to be a long one. We're going to fast forward through a lot of this. So this is my second tournament. This was also a good fight, but not the same one. This was like a year prior, I think.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So me and this guy pretty much just like stalemated each other the whole time, and like it was this match that that really like made me realize I did not know how to break guard, and I really needed to learn. Unfortunately, I didn't learn standing guard breaks until a little bit later. I had, we'll see it later, but like I was primarily just working like that guard breaks from a seated position, kind of the 101 guard break stuff you learn, and it just, after a while that stuff, in my opinion, just doesn't work.
It's crazy watching a match with you and not having you stand up in that guard position. Like, it just seems so strange.
See, you could see me here. I'm getting my knee up the middle. I'm getting my left knee up the middle, or I was, and then I was trying to like frame the hips and tweak my hips back to open up that space, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, why is this thing that I learned not working? So it was a good realization. Oh, I think you're back there. Yeah, you and Durrett.
Yeah, I'm in the back there. Here. Yep.
Cool. Maybe we'll get one of your matches. So yeah, this is the part where we can really kind of blast through some of this. Start standing up. But he's doing a great job controlling my posture. We're hand fighting. You looking for like a loop choke or a cross collar choke there. And I don't know. My grips should not be focused on his lapels really at all. Mm-hmm. There was a split second there where it looked like I was thinking about it. And again, I've told plenty of white belts this. If you're in someone's guard, do not focus on trying to submit them, because you're not going to, unless they really, really suck. You're focused.
You're trying
breaking the guard.
Right. And you are trying. Look at your right knee is coming in for that log splitter. Mm-hmm. You just were, at least. That's so. It's not like you weren't trying. It's just I think to your earlier point is like you found a way more effective way to break the guard, standing, rather than this battle.
Yeah, and that style of guard breaking, like the knee up the middle from the kneeling position, it will work against a really tired opponent, or if you're much bigger than your opponent, it can work out really well. It's not to say that it's a pointless technique.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we got you going up against somebody. But yeah, it's just not. I don't know who is filming this. Let's just blame Cole.
Wrist lock attempt. Who went for the wrist lock?
I saw a wrist lock attempt. The other guy or me? Because I don't think I did. Oh, you know what? You might be right. I feel like maybe he did try to do that to me. Oh, maybe it was me doing it. Okay, hold on.
Oh, right there.
I had no control over his elbow, so like, no way in hell that's gonna happen.
That's what it was. It was right there. Yep.
It's weird because seeing that, like, yeah, it looks like a wrist lock attempt, but that's never really been a serious part of my game. So I don't know. That may have just been some coincidental hand fighting I was doing there. You got put down, son.
Yeah. Good thing it was sub only.
It looked like you kind of jumped. Like he didn't even trip you.
He didn't. No, I had my foot and I was trying to go for like a sumigashi, and I didn't know shit back then.
Yeah. Back when we were blue belts.
Dude, feels like forever ago.
What's really bad is like our blue belts now in the chat would murder us at blue belt.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
they were murdering me today.
Yeah. It's got a few new faces in the chat. Maybe, unless you're bots. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or want to talk shit on how terrible we were, speak up. And if you aren't following us, please do. We're almost at our 50 follower goal. Maybe once our own coach Luke starts to follow us, we'll hit it. But until then, we need you guys. So follow us if you're not. Speak up in the chat. Let's move forward.
I would too. Like, I would really like to know how many people actually still train that we've gone through and competed with.
Yeah, I've like for a little while I had looked this guy up a few different times to see if he was still training, because we were so well matched. Like it was that's one thing I really liked about this competition. I had one other opponent, Pete McGregor, who trains out of 10th Planet, and he got in like a car accident when he was younger that like paralyzed his legs or something, so he's doesn't have any effective use of his legs. He was at this competition as well, but I don't think I have those videos loaded on here. But this was like, since this was my second competition, I think this was the first guy I had gone against who was actually my size. Like I was against bigger guys in my first comp, lost tremendously. So I hope this guy's still out there competing or training at the very least. How did I get on my back? I was talking too much. So it looks like he cuts his angle, hip heists. And yeah, we could marvel at how ineffective my mount escapes were. I mean, it looks like I'm working or trying to work a standard elbow escape. He just has his feet on the inside. Let's keep it going. He's up in a really high mount.
Hang on, what'd you do there? Nice.
Just powered through.
Like power Upa.
Yeah. So his, this is when, like his arms are, I don't know what he's trying to attack right now, if he was on my neck or what, but his arms are committed to, an attack, so they're not there to base. And there, I reached up, held his right arm, and then bridged really hard and managed to get it. But yeah, it looks like he's waiting for me to pop up so he can maybe sink in a loop choke or something. Man, if only I knew a standing guard break back then. The match would have gone very differently. Yeah, we've all stalked our opponents in the lead up to and after matches. So let's see what happened. So he opened his guard. Okay, he opened his guard, and I had a hand on the knee and managed to pin his leg and step over into half. He gets his lockdown on. And yeah, I never knew, or I didn't know at this time about, alternatives in half guard, that don't require pummeling for underhooks, things like that. I can guarantee you I had no idea what I was doing with this lapel or like the jacket. Should have really been focusing on getting my knee free. I think this is the first time I've ever actually sat and watched this match. So my knee is still trapped.
He doesn't have the lockdown this time, though. Oh, now he's got it. So he switches back to that lockdown. You are hunting for that Kimura.
Yeah.
Legs are open. You to step over for a mount.
I get into mount, but I should have, I feel like I'm so off base here. Still hunting on the Kimura, maybe I was close to it, and that's why I was so adamant on getting it.
Yeah, I mean, also a bunch of shit goes through your head when you're in competition, right?
Yeah.
You tend to be like, oh, it's a sub only. I've got to go and get this sub right here, you know,
Right.
and lock in.
Look how
Looks good, though.
overextended I am, though. Like that's terrible.
Oh,
if
yeah.
If this kid just like framed my hip and pushed, I would have gone right over.
But you have a weird grip.
You know what? I think I may have been trying
A reverse Kimura.
a reverse Kimura, yeah, like that. I know I saw like I think Dean Lister or somebody do it like a long time ago. I can guarantee that wouldn't have been my first choice. So I may have just been working with what I could get at that time, but so I work my own lockdown. Let's keep going.
Get up.
I think this match, like with overtime rounds included, went for about 20 minutes, which is pretty grueling for your second tournament ever
Yeah.
when you're a shitty blue belt. So I definitely still have I was in a little bit of triangle danger there. Okay. Settle into side control. Oh my god. It's so frustrating watching this. All the things I should be doing. All the opportunities I'm missing. I mean, like, kid gives me his back. I'm like, oh, armbar. And then he just rolls up on me. This is just, I don't know, a really good example of why, a game based around control can be, or why that's so important. Like that shitty armbar attempt was, it could have been a successful armbar had I slowed down and tried to exercise control instead of jumping to it. But it could have been a back take. It could have been a rear triangle, like all sorts of stuff. An actual proper Kimura. Again, so much space. Like, look at this. Just hips up, walking around, like no control over his shoulders whatsoever.
We didn't know any better at that time.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I'm sure I was pretty stoked at the time. It's just like, oh my god, this is the opportunity to get it. Capturing that arm, which is pretty much like pointless. Have we seen any of your match? I guess it's all pretty much been off screen.
It has. I mean, we went about the same length of time because I went into overtime.
Yeah, I do too. Here at some point.
Yeah, it was our first match. I think we ended on it like the exact same time.
Yeah, this kid's north-south isn't as annoying as yours. So I was well prepared for that. Don't know what I'm doing with my grips at all. Should be trying to frame. No point in capturing that arm. Unless you're Danny and you can hit a reverse triangle from everywhere. Let's keep going. All right, time.
Right at that time.
So this is where we go into oh, that's right, this was back when it was mount, back, armbar, triangle. Pretty confident I had no mount game at this point. So as soon as this guy can buck me off, he probably does. Yeah, now he's out. Really need to focus on getting inside elbow position here.
It doesn't look like he's trying to set anything up necessarily.
No.
Trying to work his way up the body.
Yeah.
Got your left elbow. Yeah.
We saw him doing that earlier. Like he definitely liked the higher mount.
Mm-hmm. You got the grip on the belt.
No idea why.
Don't know why.
Yeah, and where this definitely benefits him, even if he's not working any like immediate attacks, it's tiring trying to get out of this, and we just had a 10-minute match or whatever it was. So I'm rapidly, or I'm losing energy here, and he's just kind of laying and praying and can recoup until we get to back.
Yeah.
Man, this is so frustrating. How do I get out of this? Okay, I captured his leg.
Oh, so they called that out. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nice. Yeah, half guard. Sure. In no danger. Like it wasn't like he had any sort of. I think it's 2018. Hang on, 2017 or 2018 for this competition?
I want to say 18.
I think it's 18. Yeah.
2020. Shut up, Danny. Let me see.
We got a
Really
bow
love
and
my
arrow. And then the grip slipped. Oh shit. Oh no.
I want to go back on this. Yeah, gotta.
Did you get a good grip on the lapel? It didn't look. Okay,
I mean,
maybe you did have it.
it-
It maybe
it-
slipped.
Yeah, it looks like it, but who knows?
You're trying to hike that leg up, but he's curling in and making it hard.
Yeah.
But he's doing a good job of like getting his body, yeah, on top of your leg.
Yeah. So this was February 2018. 2018 was a busy year, man. I had 5 competitions that year. Busy for me.
Did you
I should
really?
say. Yeah. So I didn't see the start of this. I don't know why I started bugging the foot and then stopped. Like maybe
I think you may have started feeling threatened up top. Is
Yeah.
kind of what I am thinking.
possibly. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like it, but like being on top like this instead of like working on a hip or working from a hip, like I don't typically feel like I'm in any danger there, but I'm also not progressing through my escape.
In the escapes, right?
I don't know why I'm trying to grab that arm the way I was. Unless I was looking for like a cheeky armbar or something.
Oh well.
Do you remember how your match finished?
I wound up losing on the backside,
Gotcha.
like in yes, this was Mount. First round of Mount, I think. If they were both 10-minute matches, then why the hell was mine? Maybe their stopwatches are wrong.
You started later. Like
Okay.
your match started a few minutes after mine.
So you've got to try. I think you're trying to crank on his foot
Yeah.
because he's got his feet crossed.
Kind of got it.
Did you get it?
No, I definitely
Oh.
didn't. But I mean, look at like, I can't imagine that felt good. But he's not making any real effort to like get out of it or give up his grips or anything. It's getting boring. Yeah, there's a lot I'm just not doing here. I think I'm largely focusing on the hand fight. Just I assume because I was pretty well threatened. We're both super tired.
Oh, you're in armbar.
Yep. I think we did that wrong. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have your head side arm on the mat, not the body side arm. So like my arm should be switched right now, but they didn't. Hell, you know what, guys? Whoever's in the chat, who's gonna compete at Good Fight, set it up how you want to set it up, and let the referees correct it if it needs to be corrected.
Yep.
Rips it right out. I don't think my arm bars were good until well into like purple belt, if I remember correctly.
It's I would say all the subs I think come with a lot of nuances.
Yeah, and we
He goes.
weren't
Oh,
learning.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we weren't learning those nuances at the time, really.
Nah.
Yeah, he went to the I don't know, do they call it like spider web or something like that? I feel like there's some weird name for
Maybe.
that. But yeah, he goes to grab the leg, which shuts down like a rolling escape,
Bridge.
like a hitchhiker or a bridge. Yeah.
And a bridge. Yeah, you can't plant, or you can't. If he scoops like, so he.
Now he's just smacking my wrists.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing?
I imagine that's how he was. He was, legitimately trying to break the guard. So he got the win here, right? He got it via armbar. And for a while, this outcome made me hate the hitchhiker because I was like, in the gi, right? I after this match, I was like, I'm never doing a hitchhiker in the gi again. And it really was because I just wasn't doing it properly. Like I had, I thought it was, I didn't realize that really all I'm trying to do is get my head from one side of his body to the other. Like it's, I don't know. I knew the concept of the move. Like I'll say it like this. Like I always say to new students, I knew the how, kind of. I didn't know the why, right? Like, what are you actually trying to free here? And it's to get your shoulders and your head out of his control, right? When he doesn't have control over your shoulders, he doesn't have an arm bar, right, or a decent threat of one. So I think I kind of flailed through it, and it didn't work out. This was our first match of the day, and we were both like, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still, up to this point, hadn't won a match yet in a competition, so it was a little defeating. But then we met again in no-gi. This was, I believe, my last match of the day. I think I was a little bit more in my element. I've always, at least back then, I was way more practiced in no-gi. Getting like weird static. Say something.
Test.
I don't know. Whatever. Can you guys hear it? Is it totally annoying?
Oh, you know what it is? It's my computer that's doing the rendering from today's footage.
It's
I'm killing a MacBook Air. I'm just destroying it right now. Trying to render a video.
Oh, it's fine. So we're both really heavy on the head. Arm drag attempt from him. A lot of patty cake. Not really any effective gripping. I don't think I was very confident in my shots back then. Like I started jiu-jitsu thinking I was good at it and then quickly learned that I wasn't. So I think I probably didn't work too many of those in this match.
You didn't start really wrestling until much later, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, like long before I did jiu-jitsu, I had like a lot of my friends were wrestlers, so they would like teach me stuff, but it wasn't like I ever practiced it to a level of proficiency. So I think, yeah, once I like relearned good habits and broke bad ones, I started becoming more effective. Is that Luke and Captain Kirk over here? I think that is their match, yeah.
Yep.
I think that one went really long too.
It did, and I think it was that was the one with the Karagatame, the arm triangle that Luke wound up getting, and then thinking that it wasn't working.
Gotcha.
And it was, but I think he gave up on it and moved to something else.
See this guy. Let's see. Really low head position.
He's trying to stay heavy on the shoulder.
Yeah, and he was trying to whip me around there, but I was pretty well planted. He didn't have a good setup. I wasn't really like off balance at all. I'm getting pretty impatient watching this, so I imagine I was probably getting impatient in the match as far as getting the fight to the ground. Kind of apropos of what I posted on Instagram today, of just why it's so important. There we go. Why it's so important to practice your takedowns and not just sit to guard.
Outside trip.
Let me slow that down.
You're heavy on that left side, and then you send him that way, and he winds up either jumping up or trying to plant. You see that?
Yeah.
He jumped.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to shuffle step, it looked like.
Yep.
And notice what I'm doing with my right arm. You'll start to see my right arm like
The
pushing
collar tie.
his head.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm really using the collar tie, not to pull in this case, probably much of my shoulder too, to push him forward. But I'm just getting his head outside of his feet and keeping him going, right? Really simple. Man, good thing he didn't know leg locks, because my leg was way open.
What do you do about the guard here?
It's not really fighting the underhook battle. He escapes into an open guard.
Heavy on the head. It's so funny that you're going around the back on this one now. And okay, I was gonna say instead of going after the legs
Yeah.
in order to, get his foot to his butt and peel his knees away.
You're kind of quiet. Where's your mic at?
Oh, I turned it down
Oh,
so
there
you
you go.
guys wouldn't hear the
Whatever. Nah, the fan's
screaming.
The fan's fine.
Is this better?
Yeah, much.
All right, cool.
So, behind the head, pretty standard. Shove it through. And I've got his arm exposed here.
Yeah. Are you trying to go for? You're trying to go for a north-south choke, I think, right?
Yeah, and he puts
Yeah.
on this Ezekiel from the bottom, which I think I had to address. Like, I was like, all right, I won't north-south you. So I just start shoving my head down his body, which extends his arms and takes the strangle away. Surprising how little he's framing too. Forearm on the throat. I was on my spinner and arm
Nice.
bars, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I had the fire inside me on this one. I really, really wanted it because all my other ones failed. And right there, I get it. He tapped
Yep.
out. Let's see that again. So a lot of good heavy head pressure there. I should have been able to put him back down, but he switches his hips.
Starts to stack, but you're doing a good job with your right leg cross facing him. To try and apply that pressure.
Yeah, and I know you can't see it from this angle, but I'm pretty sure like my knee is above his ear. I'm pulling my heel down into him. It's right now he may have been able to rip out, like, because I start to lose my leg position as he inverted me, but that's right about where he tapped. So
Yep.
and that was my not my first tournament win.
Yeah, because you would win it. You won before that, right?
I won in my matches with Pete. So this was U.S. grappling, and this was just like a month or two later. Let me see. And this was a really fun match. This guy Ray is a super great competitor, really nice guy. We had a great day. Yeah, this was 3 months later in May 2018. What did you do? Did he like punch me there or something?
No. You were really heavy on the head on the first, in the first little go around. You had a nice little snap down.
Yeah. I'm a strong believer in the collar tie. And if I remember correctly, I think I went into this match possibly looking for some throws, like just trying to work those a bit, which is, I now looking back, kind of foolish, just because it's, yeah, like right there I tried to step across and hip toss him, but it's like,
man, I I think it depends on what you want to get out of the competition, really.
yeah, true. So he shoots in on a single, I believe. He goes for a double. But again, head on the outside. And this was, I always mute our videos just so I can have these sick tunes playing. But this was a really good example of listening to your coach. This whole time, I got Luke yelling at me to dig for this grip, right? Because I land in this arm in guillotine position, right? Which they work. There's plenty of footage you guys tap into an arm in guillotine. But even better is not having the arm in. So I relinquish my grip after I know I've got like decent control over his body. And the problem now is he's driving his shoulder into my chest. So, Luke's telling me to basically blade my hand and slide it in. I'm pretty sure I probably have the chin strap, like I said before. So I just start digging, kind of working my hand in as I can until, and Luke's even telling me, he's like, go for a blade grip, don't go for your wristwatch, and then once I get it, which is right about here, hit my side crunch, and he taps, and then we had a little bromance at the end. But yeah, that was a really fun match. And then he went and told Luke how strong I was. And that was before I knew that was an insult in jiu-jitsu. And I think so. I went against this guy in no-gi, but it's like one of the only matches I don't have recorded in like all of my tournaments. And I actually got him in a rear triangle, but finished it with a Kimura. Because Matt Miller was yelling at me because Matt finds figure four grips like everywhere. And
right.
And I was chilling in a rear triangle, which I had no idea it was a thing. And he's like, get the Kimura, and I just slapped it on and got it. So let's see. So this guy goes in on a single with his head on the inside, hence why I'm not guillotining him. And then that looked like I actually knew what I was doing there.
Yeah, right. You had a nice little inside butterfly hook, and boom.
So let's look at where his hands are. I think I don't know
He's
where.
Still on your leg.
Yeah, his right hand must be on the leg. I've reached, or I'm sorry, his left arm. I reach over his left shoulder, and I'm using my shin across his lap, and then that little butterfly hook to elevate. Get a nice little sweep. I don't know if I actually do much with that. And then I get him again there, which was cool. That was just like grab his belt, go over, and then keep rolling up. And yeah, this was a points tournament, so unlike all the footage we watched up until now was submission only at good fight. U.S. Grappling is the only, well, they're defunct now, but they were the only like low-level tournament I knew of that actually had a sub-only no time limit setup. That was the one where we were out in Greensboro till like 7 because
that's right.
My matches. That was the day I signed up for the Absolute. And my matches were like almost 30 minutes. At least one of them was. Funny watching this. Like I feel like I don't really ever get arm bars anymore, and like it was like my primary go-to.
I distinctly remember you going after them in training quite a lot
Yeah.
around this time.
Yeah, and this is, a really, really basic 101 finish, right? I mean, I don't like this now, knowing what I know, but where I'm just like flat on my back with his arm on my chest, good enough. Guy tapped. But what we know now about gripping the wrist, breaking it over the hip, all that stuff. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
And then this was a fun match. So Ray and I met again in gi. Let's get out of the way, ref. Looks like he tried to knee me in the balls.
Trying to go for that outside trip.
Yeah, and he countered that really well, right? Like the way he stepped in on it. Right, we're both trying to cut this angle on each other.
Yep.
So I'm stepping behind, trying to take that leg away.
He comes in. Oh, not yet.
Yeah, he steps across here.
I feel like
It takes me
yeah,
forward.
okay. Yeah, it's like the beginnings of a Taitoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like lower his level and pull me over.
Mhm.
But brought my head out in front of my body, and I just couldn't step to it. I was probably looking for a collar strangle. Man, if I had focused on his arm instead of his collar.
Then it would have been a
Yeah.
sweep for sure. Yeah.
Yep. The importance of your grips. Yeah, and he has my left leg stuffed there, so I can't really set up like a trap triangle or anything.
He's trying to step over that bottom knee, but you regarded and put it on his hip.
Yeah. And yeah, like I think, right here, instead of this like foot grabbing BS I'm doing, like this would have been now I probably would have focused on actually getting to a butterfly position, hitting a forward shift, creating some space. Like right here, I feel like that's what I really should have been focusing on instead of trying to pull him over me for like that I don't know, I guess you could call it like a sumigashi. Yeah, and I mean more on that point, like just like this is a good example of why, unless you're attacking a submission like I am, gripping and holding the guy down to you is you're not doing yourself any favors. Like you need to use your framing more effectively, unless you have like an angle and can bridge to sweep him or something like that. Assuming you don't, you should be framing. I think I briefly considered an omoplata, but his arm was not in the right spot for it.
Ooh.
I'm like, yeah, I know about this. Or no, I think.
So now he he's reaping like a motherfucker right now. But I guess since it's not on the inside of your leg, they didn't call it. You see that? How it's
Well,
across both of your legs?
so it is. So right there, he probably easily could have been called for a reap. I think because he's like, if I was the ref and I saw this, depending on the rules, he's not torquing my knee. Like he's not putting my knee in an unnatural position. So I think that's what people refer to as a false reap now. I've seen false reaping techniques popping up on like all sorts of YouTube videos and stuff. If he was cranking my knee over, I'd be in a lot more trouble. And then I think he starts going for a knee bar, and he actually may have gotten it. That's an illegal looking grip. He may have gotten it, but his coach started yelling at him, no knee bars, essentially. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think that they weren't permitted in U.S. grappling at blue belt. Yeah, right there. He's like, I can't knee bar. Like, damn it! I just fought for this leg, and now I'm just gonna give it up.
You like fell back with the hopes of like snatching his gi and coming back or something, and you just fell right off.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn.
Yeah, you just kind of turned out the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that I had the awareness to spin back to guard there, instead of just accepting having my back taken, which he does anyway pretty soon. Yeah, I wish I knew what the score was right now. I'm pretty confident he's up on points. Actually, he's definitely up on points right now.
What's crazy is you have the underhook here. Like you in like today's mat, you would be in full control.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like even
you start realizing it here.
Yeah. Like let's go back a little further. Cause yeah, I mean I'm in a flattened out half guard, which isn't ideal, but I'm getting the underhook. Like now, I mean this is what my entire half guard game is based around at this point. Like bottom half guard. So it's like okay, cool. I would absolutely be looking for the single leg, or a roll through sweep, or a back take. So, missed opportunity. So he gets on my back and he crosses his ankles, and this one. So anybody who's like ever been new to the school, may like they don't know why we say this stuff, but like anytime we're at a competition and someone's on our back and they cross their ankles, you'll hear your coach yelling to check low, right? And that's kind of our code word for his ankles are crossed, crank them, right? So Luke tells me to check low, and I find his leg and I start cranking. And watch him. Like, you can't see his face right now. There will be a few instances where I think he like rolls over and you might see it. Right, like, so right there, right at the very end, he winces. He raises his hand to tap because I'm cranking his ankle extremely hard. Like, let's see. The red beanbag coming in is the time up.
Time.
So right here, he's in agony. He's about to tap, and they call time. So he won that match on points. We both knew it. Like, we both knew what was about to happen, and This was see, he's like, oh damn. It was a well-earned victory for him, but at the end of the competition, he was limping around like the rest of the day. So it was
Right.
I was right there. I was pretty close to getting a cheap little sub on him, but he definitely out-grappled me in that match. So it was well earned. Yeah. So that's it for today. Hope you guys can pick up some stuff from watching how bad we used to be, and comparing that to how much marginally better we are now. So we'll be back to grappling footage from open mats this coming Wednesday and Sunday probably. Plug Friday night. Nothing happens on Friday night, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys enjoy your Friday nights at home. You don't have to go train at all ever. But if you want to, Danny hosts the Friday night open mat, so get out there. I know that it's either death matches or some pretty effective technique training, specific technique training. The guys have been bringing out their instructionals and reviewing specific techniques and just getting their reps in. And you've seen the fruit of that labor here on the stream already, with the Darce passes that Danny and Steven are hitting from half guard, among other things. So yeah, get out on Friday night if you guys want another night to train. Friday night at 9 o'clock. I said on Mitch for 2 minutes. We're always into watching Mitch get pinned. Yeah, and Friday nights, Mitch is usually there too. So ask him everything you want to know about wrestling, and he will teach you. He'll demonstrate it on you, and you'll wish you never asked. So yeah. Other than that, we will see you guys at class. Bring all your questions to us. I know that I'm not training as much as I usually am right now, so you can pull me aside and we can go over whatever you guys want. What were you gonna say?
Just the regular. Trim your nails. Do your laundry. Don't be stinky.
Yeah, and
That's
get your reps in. Get to class. We'll see you guys soon.
Later.